In this video, let's look at the shape and type of the bones and the type of movement that you can get from them. So we've got a table here which I hope you'll find useful in terms of the way it's presented. So first of all, let's look at the shape and type of the first bone. So if we look at long bones, and if you remind yourself, the long bones are the femur here, the humerus here, the radius and ulna there, and the tibia and fibula down here. Those long bones, so what sort of movement, what kind of movement can we get from them? And the answer is that we can talk about gross movement. If you're not okay or familiar with gross movement, think of large movements. So large movements like walking, running, jumping, catching. Most of our movements are with or through because of our long bones. Okay, so examples of the bones we've just mentioned you could talk about there are the humerus and the femur. Then if we go to the other end, we've got our short bones, and you remember from a previous video I talked about the names of the short bones. So these are the bones that we find in our hands and our feet, and they're responsible for precision, accuracy type movements, and we refer to those movements as fine movements. So the amount of movement you get is relatively small, they're fine, they're detailed, and they're controlled. So finer, controlled movement would be a great way for you to explain what short bones allow for. And the examples, again, from the previous video I mentioned, were carpals and tarsals. So remember that your carpals are in your hands and your tarsals are in your feet. And then the other type of bone which we've looked at is the flat bone. And the type of movement is very, very limited. You might even say no movement, but let's say limited, very limited movement. And examples of those are the cranium. And interestingly, the ribs are also classified as flat bones as well, even though it's not immediately obvious that they are flat. So you need to be aware of those. We've seen questions that you might well get asking those specific questions. So make sure you've got your head around those. And lastly, on this little section, you also need to know the roles of the following. So let's look at these: ligaments, tendons, and cartilage. And this is a potential banana skin. So quite a few students get confused with the role of ligament and tendon. So let's just clear that up for you. The role of ligaments is that they connect bone to bone. The role of tendons is that they connect muscle to bone. And the role of cartilage is that it reduces friction and absorbs shock. So take some time to make sure you get those sorted. They're quite a commonly examined area, because the examiners know that this is sometimes confusing for you guys. So therefore, make sure you take the time to sort that out. And then lastly, the cartilage, there's two things you should always be thinking about. Yes, reducing friction between bones and absorbing shock. And we'll come on to look at the role of cartilage in a bit more detail when we look at the video on synovial joints.